So, Imelda, hello and welcome.
Thank you, Porrick.
Oh, great to have you with me, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Tell me what your business is, and then maybe segueing into tell me how and why you got into it.
Okay, so our business is Century Management, and we couple that with Odyssey, the business of consulting. Our Century Management business is where we work with clients. And so our purpose in working with our clients is to partner with them in creating business advantage by way of helping them identify and clarify their strategy, their key purpose in business and life, and also then in helping them set their strategic plan and objectives for the future. And then our Odyssey business is also around working with consultants to help them grow their businesses so that they can maximize their potential and also fulfill their purpose.
Okay, very good. And so tell me, and how did you get into this business? And not just how, but tell me why. I know Century Management came first and Odyssey came second. So maybe you might just give me a little bit of a journey there.
Yeah. Well, Century Management came first. John and I, in our youth, we set up this company. We always wanted, and we were always interested in helping people and helping businesses. And John is coming from a teaching background, and I was coming from a personal development background. And so we thought it would be good if we could marry the two of them together into a business. And that was what we set about doing. And so our motivation was to start local, work with the local businesses, the accountant, the builder, the business owner who lived locally, because many of those people wouldn't dare go to, the corporate places for training or development. And as we grew our business, our consulting business, then we realized, and we started off, of course, with a product, and then we grew and expanded into working with organizations on a more global basis and, getting our arms right around the whole business as opposed to just going in with a product. And so through working with consultants worldwide, we realized that many consultants were leaving a lot of business on the table. And so the motivation came then to set up our Odyssey business of consulting, where we could help consultants work their business, see their business from a holistic perspective, and see how they could partner with clients in growing their business and also growing client businesses from a strategic perspective. So that's how we came about, how we grew.
And I've actually done your Odyssey program. And I can attest to what a wonderful, wonderful program it is. What does your typical persona look like? Let's take Odyssey as a case in point. What does a typical persona look like? And what value do they tell you that you bring to what they do?
Persona of our clients in Odyssey Business of Consultant. You, Porrick, are a typical example, a guy who has wonderful potential, wants to grow your business, wants to work with clients to the ultimate, to help clients break all barriers and reach their potential and fulfill their purpose. And so we encourage people to go in naked. We don't mean literally, of course, in this cold weather, but to go in and to work with the clients, understand what the client is looking for first, and then work with the client from that basis. And to move from being a commodity seller into working with the heart and the head as well, having the knowledge and having the background and having the heart, but also having the fourth level, which we would call working on purpose and working with the client and fulfilling their purpose. And many consultants were living at and working at the lower levels of consultancy, rather than kicking themselves up a level to working at the higher level, where they can truly partner with their clients and help them get to where they want to go in their business.
And tell me, what is the process? I mean, I assume there are steps in this process. And how do you develop these people? Where do these skills come from? What do you do with them to help them?
So that's the book. And in there has the framework, the methodology, and the systems of how you can build your business. I recently met a client who sold his high-tech business, and he's now embarking on consultancy. And he says, oh, when you gave me this book, I sat and I had my coffee and I read through all the pages and said, wow, this is really for me. So it's somebody who's going into consultancy world, wants to fast forward their growth so that they don't have to make all the mistakes that we have made, that we have learned from, and they can just fast forward their business and work at the higher levels with their clients. And so that's type one. Type two then are people who have consultancy business, like yourself, Porrick. You had vast amounts of consultancy business behind you. And it's to move from level 3 to level 4. in a way.
Yeah.
And it's to work with clients from a holistic perspective as opposed to just, functional.
Yeah,
Based.
moving away from the interventions and more to, Okay, let me ask you another question, if I may. Where do the TTI psychometric assessments and other tools and processes fit into all of this? How did you use them? How useful have they been in you creating value?
The TTI competency process is always a major part of what we do everywhere we work. And so we use that right through cradle to grave, as we call in the employment process, in recruitment, career path development, in organization development, in induction, onboarding, all of the processes. So we would never work with a client without having a system and a process in place. And so the very best system and process is to look at the competencies. What are the requirements for the roles that you have in your organization, and how do your current team fit those requirements? And if there are gaps, how do we fill those gaps? How do we measure the gaps first? It's about objective material here that we're working with. Is powerful because it helps, prevents you recruiting the wrong persons and helps you induct and onboard and develop the right people for the organization. And I have clients who wouldn't dare recruit anybody without putting them through the process.
May I ask you a question, Imelda? What's your favorite tool? So in the suite of tools that TTI offer, what's your favorite tool?
And my favorite tool is the competency system, which actually is all of the tools combined in one.
Okay.
Because we cannot function on one leg alone. We need all. If we're a chair, we need 4 legs on the chair. Yeah. So we need the benchmarking, we need the competency, we need motivators and values, and we need behavior, and we need the judgment process as well. So we need all systems, and they're combined, and they give us a fuller picture of the person. People, when they first come in contact with the system, they love the colors and the behavior. Because what color they have the fun around that. Yeah. It's a lovely introduction, but it's just one part of the process: the who, how, why, and what we do.
Any final thoughts for us in terms of where we are today and the road, perhaps, for consultants and for coaches and for trainers, the role that perhaps TTI and those kind of tools can play for them in helping them develop and grow themselves and their business? I know you're very interested in the whole thing of the individual growth and individual development. Any other final thoughts on that? Well,
every growth starts with the internal, doesn't it? If we're not growing ourselves, then we cannot expect others to be growing.
Yeah.
And people sense that from us. When we're growing and developing and moving in our purpose, in our major definite purpose, in our calling in life, when we're going in that direction, then we can help anybody else, no matter what position they're in, chief executive or the person at whatever level they are in the organization. We can help them fulfill their potential and move in their direction. And so the challenge for all of us is to stay on the path of personal growth. And when we're on that path, we can be a light for others to shine as well.
So thank you very much, Imelda. Really appreciate you doing this little interview with me. And I wish you every success in life and in your business.
Thank you, Pádraig. It's always a pleasure working with you, and I wish you success. And thank you for all your support in 2022 and for all your work, and look forward to working with you next year and beyond.